This is every US state's official Mario Kart track, as chosen by someone who's been to like 5 or 6 of them. We're also not counting city tracks. If I see one comment about that, I swear to God. Alabama, 3DS Rainbow Road. For as much as I want to make a sibling or cousin joke, there's no good Mario Kart track for that, so instead we'll go with this. Apollo 11, the first spacecraft to successfully take humans to the moon, was powered by a Saturn V rocket built in Alabama of all places. And since this track also takes you to the moon, they're basically the same thing. Alaska, Rosalina's Ice World. It's easily the coldest state in the country, but it also has breathtaking views of the northern lights. So with a frigid climate and an amazing view of the night sky, Rosalina's Ice World covers both fronts pretty well. Arizona, Sunset Wilds. Monument Valley and Mather Point are famous for having the most gorgeous sunsets in the American West, and with the Grand Canyon looking setting in this track, it's a perfect fit. Arkansas, Shy Guy Falls. There's definitely states with better waterfalls, but this one's certainly home to some very pretty ones. I'm mostly focusing on the diamond-looking jewel mines all across the course, because Arkansas's Crater of Diamonds State Park is one of the only places in the world that the public can search for real diamonds from their source. California, Wario's Gold Mine. The gold rush of 1849, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I was gonna say Toad Harbor because it looks just like San Francisco, but there's also a Statue of Liberty in the water, so I don't know. Colorado, Mount Wario. Colorado's entire identity is built around the mountainscapes. I mean, Denver, the biggest city there, is called the Mile High City, so the best mountain course in the game being for this one makes a lot of sense to me. Connecticut, Daisy Circuit. The Mystic Seaport Museum is the largest maritime museum in the US, and Daisy Circuit's on the water, has a bunch of boats, and a big lighthouse. Delaware, Donut Plains 3. Delaware is the second smallest state, and Donut Plains is the second smallest track. Also, the state nickname is the First State, and this track comes from the first Mario Kart. Florida, Cheap Cheap Beach, because Florida Keys. Georgia, Koopa Cape. The biggest aquarium in the United States is in Atlanta, Georgia, and the tunnel part of this one is the closest to an aquarium we have in this game. Hawaii, Sunshine Airport. What real-life beach is the most like the world of Super Mario Sunshine?
Hanalei Bay, I think, in Hawaii.
The voice of Mario himself confirmed that Isle Delfino is most like Hawaii, and since the airport's on Isle Delfino, that's a lock. Idaho, Wild Woods. As much as I wish there was a potato track in the game, it sadly doesn't exist. So instead we'll focus on the Salmon Chalice National Forest, which is the biggest in the continental United States. There's probably not Shy Guys living in the trees, but this is close enough. Illinois, Super Bell Subway. The largest subway system in the US is in New York, but a not-so-close second is in Chicago, Illinois. Also, we have no proof that Super Bell Subway is not also the second largest in the Mario universe, so it could be dead on. Indiana, Mario Kart Stadium. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is the racing capital of the world, and the Indy 500 is one of the biggest races in the world. So naturally, the beautiful but simple Mario Kart Stadium represents it flawlessly. Iowa, Moo Moo Meadows. It has the most acres of farmland out of any of the 50 states, so it's an easy choice. Kansas, Wee Rainbow Road. The state motto, Ad Astra per Aspera, is Latin for Through Hardships to the Stars, and this track is both in the stars and at the end of the Booster Course Pass, so it perfectly represents that. Kentucky, Bowser Castle 3. I really wish I could use Airship Fortress instead, but this place looks like a pretty secure base that's near impossible to break into, except for, the 12 racers. But besides that, it seems awfully comparable to Fort Knox, Kentucky, one of the strongest bases on Earth. Louisiana, Mary Mountain. No, Louisiana doesn't have mountains, but DeSoto Parish's Christmas tree structure is the tallest in the world. It's a cell phone tower with a bunch of lights, but still, it's cool, Christmassy, good enough. Maine, Piranha Plant Cove. There's a few eels in this one, and Maine's apparently the only state with a significant eel population. So much so that they set a quota on how many are allowed to catch. So yeah, it's gotta be somewhat sizable there, right? Maryland, Twisted Mansion. Hear me out. Baltimore is in Maryland. The Ravens got their name because of Edgar Allan Poe, a famous poet in the horror genre. Ghost House. Massachusetts, Daisy Cruiser. I wish there was a better one for this, but since the Boston Tea Party is such a significant part of US history, giving Massachusetts the only track on a boat is fine with me. Michigan, Sweet Sweet Canyon. Michigan's not known for desserts or anything, but all the water in this track is discolored and probably really bad for you, so. Minnesota, Coconut Mall. The Mall of America is the biggest in the country, and it sits right outside Minneapolis. Coconut Mall is the only mall in the game, so, muy bien. Mississippi, Neo Bowser City. Since this track is always facing a torrential downpour, I figured the third rainiest state was fitting. The futuristic looking city doesn't match up that well, but it's Mississippi. I mean, what else is going on there? Missouri, Riverside Park. The Ozark region of the state is home to gushing waterfalls and tons of woodlands. And since St. Louis, Missouri is where the largest rivers in North America meet, calling it Riverside Park makes a lot of sense. Montana, Rock Mountain. This state's iconic for its jaw-dropping mountain views and wide-open natural landscapes. So a track that's main focus is getting you up a mountain and letting you glide through the big sky, if you will, is perfect. Nebraska, Sky High Sundae. This state is known for corn and even more corn, but last year an ice cream parlor called Coneflower Creamery in Omaha, Nebraska was the highest rated in the nation on Yelp. Nevada, Electrodrome. Despite the region having debatably better looking mountainscapes than Montana, most people go there for Vegas, so you can see why this one fits. New Hampshire, Snowland. Yeah, apparently New Hampshire has the highest annual snowfall per year, and thank God for that because there is nothing else going on there. New Jersey, Sky Garden. Huh? It's called the Garden State for some fucking reason, so we're rolling with it. New Mexico, Yoshi Valley. The Rio Grande Valley is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the state, famous for hot air balloon rides. And Yoshi Valley is a valley too. New York, Animal Crossing. It experiences the 4 seasons better than any state in the country, with hot summers, colorful falls, snowy winters, and beautiful springs. North Carolina, Bowser's Castle. This thing is a grand architectural feat, and the largest home in America is the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. This thing is a fucking castle and has over 4 acres of floor space. North Dakota, Peach Gardens. Not because of any similar landmarks or geography, but since its nickname is the Peace Garden State. That sounds close as hell. Ohio, Squeaky Clean Sprint. This place would be lucky to be called a bathroom, even though I keep going back and have a bunch of friends there. But for the memes. Oklahoma, Boo Lake. This state has more than 200 man-made lakes, which is the most in the country, and this is the only lake course, so it's probably haunted by the people that dug it. Oregon, Mushroom Gorge. Nicknamed Hell's Canyon, the largest gorge in North America sits between Idaho and Oregon and plunges over a mile down. Pennsylvania, Toad's Turnpike. The Pennsylvania Turnpike is one of the most famous and expensive in the country, so it's a perfect match. Rhode Island, Yoshi's Island. They both have island in the name, I don't know at this point. South Carolina, Toad Circuit. To help kickstart the Civil War, in 1860, South Carolina seceded from the Union. And if I could make one track secede from this game, it'd be Toad Circuit. South Dakota, DK Mountain. Mount Rushmore is really the only noteworthy thing in the state, and there's not really an equivalent in Mario Kart, but the DK Mountain volcano does have a face on it too, so it counts. Tennessee, Music Park. Nashville's nicknamed the Music City, and this is the Music Park, so it's a match made in heaven. Texas, Moonview Highway. Now, I don't love driving on busy roads. I'll admit it, it's a little bit scary. But if you've driven on Katy Freeway in Houston, kudos to you, man. It's 26 lanes of f***ing road. This track's nothing close to that, but you know, 4 is the most in Mario Kart. Utah, Baby Park. The median age in the state of Utah is 30.7, which is the youngest in the United States, hence Baby Park. Vermont, Maple Treeway. Vermont has debatably the most beautiful foliage in the country, and it's also renowned as the best state for maple syrup. Maple. Virginia, Thwomp Ruins. The oldest archaeological site in the US is in Cactus Hill, Virginia, so I figured the only ruins-based track would be fitting. Washington, Cloud Top Cruise, the cloudiest state in America. Olympia only gets 52 days of full sun per year, and Seattle gets a slightly less terrible 71. West Virginia, Chaco Mountain. Its nickname is the Mountain State, but it's the Appalachian Mountains, which are not nearly as steep as the Rockies because they're way older, but they are covered in lush trees, as you can clearly see here. Wisconsin, Cheeseland. What more do I have to say about that? Wyoming, Grumble Volcano. The Yellowstone supervolcano is one of the biggest and most dangerous in the world. This track races you through the place if everything goes south. And on that note, we've reached the end. Comment down below which track best represents where you live, and if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're posting Mario content on this channel every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and you won't want to miss anything. In the meantime, check out this video, where I rank all 96 tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe from worst to best. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you next week.